Most people think they're decent with money. Bills get paid on time, there's some savings. But every month, the same question: where did it all go? Let's try something extreme: tracking every single dollar for 30 days. This personal finance experiment reveals what gets discovered and completely changes how people think about money. Here's a typical scenario before this experiment. Monthly income, $4,200. Bills accounted for, $2,800. Money left over, $1,400. Actual savings, $200. That means $1,200 vanishes every month. No idea where. The rules are simple. Every purchase, every subscription, every coffee, everything gets tracked. No judgment, just data. Week 1 reveals the brutal truth. Not because spending is too high, but because it finally becomes visible. This is budgeting in its rawest form, seeing reality instead of assumptions. Here's the science behind why this happens. It's a phenomenon behavioral economists call the cashless effect. When you tap your phone or swipe a card, the pain of paying is almost zero. It feels like nothing happened. But when you have to physically write that number down or type it into a spreadsheet, you are reintroducing the pain of paying. You are forcing your brain to register the transaction. That split second of writing $47 for coffee creates a micro moment of regret. And believe it or not, that tiny moment of regret is the most powerful financial tool you have. It breaks the trance of mindless swiping. That coffee habit? Expected, $15 a week. Reality, $47. That's 3 to 4 cups daily without thinking. Eating out was expected to be $50 a week, but reality showed $127 from lunch and convenience purchases. Subscriptions were thought to be $30 a month, but forgotten subscriptions brought the total to $67. But here's the most surprising part. By week 2, something interesting happens. Without trying to cut back, spending decreases. Week 1 spending was $380. Week 2 dropped to $290. Why? Because tracking creates friction. Every wallet reach triggers the thought: do I want to track this? The act of tracking is the intervention. This is money management at work. Awareness driving better decisions automatically. Different choices start emerging. Coffee at home saved $28 that week. Meal prep Sunday saved $45 on lunches. Canceled 3 unused subscriptions saved $23 per month. Not from deprivation, from awareness. By weeks 3 and 4, patterns emerge that would have stayed invisible otherwise. Food consumes 28% of income. Not from fancy dining, from hundreds of tiny decisions. The invisible money leaks discovered include convenience purchases totaling $180 per month. Gas station snacks, $67. Vending machines, $31. Quick grocery runs, $82. Then there's subscription creep at $67 per month. Forgotten streaming services, 4. Apps on auto-renew, 3. Unused gym membership, 1. And the small purchase trap at $240 per month. Under $10 transactions that get ignored. The "it's only $7" mentality adds up. Total leaks, $487 per month. Let's pause and look at that number. $487. It's easy to gloss over it as just a number on a screen. But let's translate that into life currency. That isn't just $480. That is a car payment on a reliable vehicle. That is a substantial chunk of a student loan payment. That is a round-trip flight to Europe every 2 months. When you see it as just $7 here and there, it feels harmless. But when you reframe it as, I am burning my annual vacation fund on gas station snacks and unused streaming apps, the equation changes. You stop seeing this experiment as restriction and start seeing it as reclaiming your life. You aren't cutting spending, you're buying your freedom back $7 at a time. Here's what 30 days of tracking reveals. Before tracking in month 0, income was $4,200. Known expenses were $2,800. Mystery spending was $1,200. Savings were $200. After tracking in month 1, income stayed at $4,200. Tracked expenses were $3,100. Identified leaks were $487. New savings jumped to $613. That's a 206% increase in savings. This is wealth building in action. Monthly savings tripled, not from earning more, not from extreme deprivation, just from seeing where money actually goes. And here's where it gets powerful. That extra $413 per month? Invested consistently, compound interest turns it into over $250,000 in 30 years. That's the real cost of invisible spending. But the money isn't even the biggest lesson. Here's the financial education nobody teaches in school. First, small doesn't mean insignificant. Those $3 to $7 purchases, they total $487 per month. That's $5,844 per year. Second, awareness beats willpower. More data is needed, not more discipline. Once it's visible, behavior changes automatically. Third, budgets lie without tracking. Without tracking, it's guessing, and guesses are typically wrong by 20 to 30%. Fourth, friction is your friend. Making spending slightly harder by tracking it reduces spending 23% without feeling restricted. Ready to try this? Here's the 30-day budgeting system that actually works. Step 1, choose your method. Don't just pick randomly, choose the tool that fits your brain type, or you will quit by day 3. The notebook. This is best for tactile learners. If you need to physically feel the process to remember it, go analog. The act of writing reinforces the memory. The spreadsheet. This is for the analytical minds. If you get a dopamine hit from seeing a pivot table or a graph update in real time, use the template in the description. The app. This is for the busy professional, but a major warning here. Do not use an app that auto-syncs with your bank. If the app tracks for you, you lose the friction. You lose the awareness. You must manually enter the transaction to get the psychological benefit. Step 2, track everything for 7 days. Every purchase, regardless of size. Cash, card, subscriptions, all of it. No judgment, just observation. Step 3, categorize at week's end. Housing, food, transport, entertainment, other. Look for patterns, not problems. Step 4, identify your top 3 leaks. Where's money disappearing? What's most surprising? What's easiest to fix first? Step 5, make one change. Don't overhaul everything. Pick the lowest hanging fruit. Track for another week. The timeline is simple. Week 1, track. Week 2, analyze. Weeks 3 and 4, adjust. Real talk. Perfect tracking every single day isn't realistic. Receipts get forgotten. Some purchases get estimated, and that's completely okay. 80% tracked is infinitely better than 0% tracked. This isn't about perfection, it's about awareness. Even tracking half of spending reveals patterns that would have stayed hidden. Common scenario, forgetting to track for 2 days in week 3. Instead of quitting, estimate what's remembered and continue. Progress, not perfection. Here's the challenge. The 30-day tracking challenge. Track every dollar for 30 days. No judgment, just observation. Comment your biggest surprise. Use hashtag #WalletWatch30days. There's a free tracking template in the description below. Simple spreadsheet, no complicated formulas, just straightforward tracking. Drop a comment right now. What's your predicted biggest spending leak? Let's see if it's accurate after 30 days. Remember, you can't manage what you don't measure. Awareness leads to behavior change, which leads to financial freedom. This experiment proves that small data leads to big changes. Building wealth doesn't require massive income. It requires knowing where current income actually goes. That's the foundation of smart personal finance and investing in your future. Track it. See it. Change it. Subscribe for more real-world money experiments. Now go track something. See you next time.